I just made the most gorgeous pot of winter chili, and I'm gonna top it with the Trader Joe's cornbread crisps and a bunch of other really delicious toppings. It was so easy, it's delicious. Let me show you how I made it. So I'm starting out here at the stove with a Dutch oven over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna add a bit of oil to the pan, just olive oil. And then I'm gonna add 2 pounds of ground beef. I'm using 90-10 ground beef, which means that it's 90% lean, 10% fat, because I think leaner, like ground beef, does better in chili. It like absorbs the flavor better. So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm gonna let these get very nice and brown. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Now we're gonna cook with some actual dried chilies. So I have ancho chilies, which are just dried poblano peppers. So I'm gonna use 2 of those. And then I have guajillo chilies, and I'm gonna use just 1 of those. And I'm gonna take the seeds out of the guajillo chili. If you didn't grow up in a home that like cooked with a lot of chilies, they can feel kind of intimidating, but I promise they're super easy to find, super easy to cook with, and they make such a difference. They add such a depth of flavor. My tea kettle is going over here because we're gonna soak them in hot water. So guajillo chilies add a little bit of like acidity, a little bit of heat, not too much. I'm not a huge spice girl, to be honest. And the ancho chilies add a really nice sweetness. It's so delicious. I love the combination of these 2 chilies. Now I have my boiling water from my tea kettle, and I'm just gonna carefully pour it over the chilies, and I'll let these soak in here for like 30 minutes. Now I'm gonna dice up a white onion, a green bell pepper, and a jalapeno. I have to tell you, I've been in such a heated rivalry like days for the last 3 weeks. I haven't cooked. Like my friendships are suffering. My work is suffering. It's all I think about. I don't eat. I don't sleep. So I'm very excited to be getting back in the kitchen today. We gotta eat. We gotta eat. We gotta sleep. Now I'm cutting the jalapeno, and again, I'm gonna take the seeds out because I'm not big on spice. I like a little spice, so I'm not too obsessive over it, but if you like really spicy chili, you can just leave some of the seeds in, or all of them. Your call. And lastly, we have our green bell pepper. So I just cut around the sort of natural lines in the pepper. Our beef is nice and brown, so I'm removing it from the pot and just putting it in a bowl. And then I have my onion and peppers. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little, and I'm gonna let them just kind of gently saute for maybe 10 minutes. Give them a nice, generous bit of salt. And while our aromatics saute, I'm going to blend up our chilies. And they're all sort of rehydrated. Remember how like raisiny and shriveled they were? They're totally rehydrated. So I'm gonna put them right in my little mini chop, plus 2 large garlic cloves. And I'm just gonna add spoonfuls of water. That should be good. It makes this like delicious red paste. Ooh, it's like smoky and sweet smelling. Let's try it. So delicious. Spicy, but not like crazy. Like totally has the heat and an aftertaste. Look how pretty it is. I'm gonna add some dry spices also, just for added flavor. If you don't do the chilies, which you should, but if you don't, then you can just sort of up the quantities of these, maybe by doubling them. So I'm gonna do about a teaspoon each of cayenne pepper, cumin, Mexican oregano, and smoked paprika, which is really yummy. A little extra. And just add those in, stir them together, let them get a little nice and toasty. Oh, toasty. I didn't toast the dried chilies. Whatever. You can also toast the dried chilies before you soak them, which is really delicious, where you just toast them in like a dry pan and let them get like a little like extra flavorful. I forgot, so we're not doing that. It happens. It's still gonna be delicious. And then I'm gonna add in those untoasted chilies. I'll let them get nice and toasty in here right now. Smells unbelievable. I'm gonna add 2 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. And canned tomatoes have a ton of water in them, and tomatoes love salt. So anytime you add canned tomatoes to anything, you should add salt. Okay, and it's starting to sort of gently bubble, so I'm gonna add back in the ground beef. Gorge. Okay, this is simmering. I'm gonna cover it up, let it simmer in there for about an hour. Don't forget to stir it every like 5-10 minutes. Okay, I'm liking this texture. It's been about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna add the kidney beans and let them simmer uncovered for another 30 minutes. With the beans, I'm doing another big pinch of salt. Chili's kind of like soup, where you want to build seasoning and flavor as you go, and not just like add a bunch of salt and flavor at the end. You want it to really build. Chili! And I mean, that's a looker. I'm gonna do some fun toppings. I'm gonna start with a dollop of sour cream. I'm gonna do these cheeses. It says a blend of cheddar, Colby, and Monterey Jack cheeses. The cornbread crisps from Trader Joe's. They literally taste like cornbread. Okay, you ready? A couple of jalapenos. Oh my God. Now that's chili. The spice is just right for me. The cornbread crisps are fire. Way more interesting than like going to the store and buying a packet of taco seasoning and throwing it in chili and calling it a day. You're gonna wanna make it. Wow. I'm gonna go watch the cottage episode and probably cry. Okay, enjoy. Bye.